Hey guys, what's going on? It's me again, it's Mike. I wish I could say from where. I'm just still working on that, working on what brand or how I want to brand it. I want to say Spartan Golf, obviously, but I do more than golf. I do a lot of different stuff, right? So for those of you that know me and the ones that are introduced to me the first time, well, I'm a golf professional and I do a lot of stuff like charity fundraising, business consulting. I've owned businesses, entrepreneur motivational talks, things of that nature. So, this is going to be the second video in a series, or I guess that I'm putting out really, since I've been persuaded to put out a vlog. So, today I'm going to tackle two issues or two topics that you guys have written in, right? So, one is what do I do when I'm alone? Two is helping others. Now, why did I tie those two together? Well, again, with charity fundraising and being on the road and golfing, coaching and teaching and stuff like that, I do spend a lot of time on the road. And that time on the road is generally when I do have time alone and I'm helping others. So it just seemed like a natural fit. So what do I do when I'm alone? Well, number one, I do probably what most everybody does. I might watch a little TV or, go work out, stuff like that, listen to music, things of that nature, okay? But in the last 2 years, I think I've really kind of shifted gears to go a different way. And what I mean by that is this. So I spend roughly, I put about 40 to 50,000 miles a year on my truck, which is a lot, so you can do the math on driving. I spend a lot of time there. I spend a lot of time in hotel rooms. Just the nature of my work, right? Well, I don't want that time wasted. I don't think anybody wants their time wasted, right? The most valuable commodity we have is time. So nobody likes their time wasted. I don't want to waste anybody else's time. So I was trying to think how I can maximize my time, right? And while I love music, I love movies, I love all that stuff, what I decided was that probably only 10% of that time that I had alone would be for things of that nature, like listening to music and stuff like that, right? The rest of the time, I wanted to be productive. So it's either reading a book, listening to a book on tape, podcast, vlogs, blogs, stuff like that, right? Why? Well, one of the things I try to do, and as a teacher, as a coach, as a motivator, even an influencer, what I try to do is I try to learn something, at least one thing every day. That is the idea, right? And to do that, you got to sometimes fit it into your schedule. And when you're traveling or, you're just driving, especially anybody that's fought New York traffic, Baltimore traffic, LA traffic, whatever it is, you're just sitting there, right? So how can we learn more? Well, that's where with modern technology and the vlogs and the blogs and books on tape and stuff like that, running it through the audio, boom, you can get a lot of information, right? And, I feel like I can maximize my time that way. Now, why do I want to learn all this stuff? Aside from the fact that I just generally have a lot of interest, and anybody that's followed me for any length of time, and if you are just starting to follow me or just subscribing, great, welcome. You're going to see, you're going to see a lot of stuff. You're going to see, diesel trucks, or at least my truck. You're going to see aquarium stuff. You're going to see golf stuff. You're going to see, fishing or hunting or whatever, So I generally have a lot of interest. And in my travels with fundraising, doing what I do and raising hundreds of thousands of dollars for various charities, and I don't care if I'm dealing with big charities like American Cancer Society or Alzheimer's or Special Olympics, or charities on a smaller scale, like Hayden's Heart or Glory Be to Kids, things of that nature. And all these charities tackle wonderful things: learning disabilities, congenital heart failure, cancer, learning disabilities, all this stuff, right? And at least when I meet somebody, I'm very conscious of the fact that if I'm raising money for a charity, I need to connect with the people that are there. And a lot of times, these are people I meet for the first time, and I really only meet them for about 5 or 10 minutes, okay, maybe 15. And I have to connect with them in the first 30 seconds. If you don't connect with someone in that first 30 seconds, it makes it very difficult to try to get them to donate to the charity, right? So that's a very important thing, okay? The other part is if you're like me and you look on social media a lot or you follow social media or anything like that, right? In your feed, you're just going to see, 80, 90, probably 80%, maybe 70% of the stuff is probably just, negative kind of BS, right? And, everybody's always like, well, I want to help and I want to help and I want to help and I want to do more. Well, that's great. And if you want to do more, you can do it a few ways, right? You can help charities, you can donate your time, you can donate money, you can just be an ear to listen to for people, for people that are dealing with depression or suicidal thoughts, or just having a rough time if they just lost their job or just got a divorce or whatever it is, right? And the tagline that people use is, hey, you need anything, give me a call, I'm there for you, right? I know I've heard that before, but the reality is when you're going through something like that, I don't know how many people have experienced it. I know I have personally. I know I've been a couple times I fought depression and stuff like that. You don't want to reach out. It's just not something you want to do. So as much as you may think you're bothering them or something, you need to reach out to them, right? So that's number one. Number two, I think if people are genuine to some degree, which I'd like to believe most people are, at least most of the time. I mean, not all the time, okay, but most of the time. If that's the case, then you should want to continue to learn so you can, one, connect with people, two, help people, three, really be informed. Because I see so many people that have opinions on things that really don't have a lot of information, or at least proper information. And that's dangerous, right? Because, if you don't have proper information, then not only are you misinformed, but then you're spreading misinformation and you're talking and stuff like that. And that's really, not good, right? And again, it doesn't matter what the topic is. I mean, I see it all the time. I see it in fish keeping. I see it in, on social media about everything, about coaching, about whatever, cars, right? So you need to, number one, at least I feel, be well informed if you're going to actually help people. There's nothing wrong with saying, I don't know. Okay? I've said it. I have no problem saying it if I don't know really that much about the topic. Or I'll preface it by saying, well, this is in my experience what I've done or what I've heard, and take it or leave it, but I don't spout it as fact. Now, if I know something is fact, or if I've done my research, I've done my homework, which anybody that's talked to me for any length of time or follows me knows, I kind of am one of those guys that wears out doing a ton of research on a topic before getting involved. And, I feel like I have a unique perspective, obviously, with all the travels and meeting a lot of different people from across the country and everything else, And I got to tell you, helping others feels great. I highly recommend it. I highly recommend more people do it. Whatever cause you're passionate about, maybe, it could be helping veterans. I mean, that's something that I obviously am pretty passionate about, that I do almost on a daily basis. It could be a disease. It could be just at your local school. It could be at an animal shelter. Anything, right? I think the more people that can get involved into helping others, and the more time when you're alone that you spend actually learning and not just, I don't want to say wasting it because that's the wrong term. It's really not wasting it. I mean, music makes people happy and, stuff like that. I'm not saying that. But, if you can spend that time learning and working on yourself and progressing and working on your knowledge base, then I just think in the long run, that's going to help you help more people and help yourself. Okay? Knowledge, you can't have too much knowledge, right? So, at least that's what I do. Okay? So I'm just trying to give you a little bit of insight into what I do and how I help others, and some of the stuff that I'm passionate about, right? So maybe it resonates with you, maybe it doesn't, but hey, listen, if you like it, hit the like button. If you don't like it, give me a thumbs down, that's fine. If you want to share it, feel free. Obviously just trying to grow the channel, trying to take more requests. Last week I got 2 more requests that I had to add to the list, so more videos will be coming. So hopefully you enjoyed this one, and see you guys next week.